Hey, Bolt Bros.
Special
We're going to talk about
Bolt Bros.
special edition Bolt Bros. Guys, camp was pretty amazing. I will say that I think Monday and Tuesday are probably the best days, and it was just
easily
James and I, Kyle was there on Monday, I guess, but not Tuesday. So got some good footage coming your directions, guys. So we're kind of bleeding it out, but a lot to discuss.
Yep. Keep an eye out on all the shorts, man. We got a lot of stuff that we put out there, and it's, man, once again, camp was amazing. Great time, guys. Great time all around. Great to connect with fans once again. Great to see football going on. Just awesome, guys. So
it is funny, though. I will say this. If you're a fan and you watch the show and you want to come say hello to us, come say hello to us. I just keep noticing people just staring at us and nobody comes up and says hi to us or anything like that. And you're like, hey, guys, come say hello, you know?
Yeah.
Half the reason why we do this is to connect with fans and have fun and get to know, the fan base. It's a big part of what we do, guys. So we do have a new intro coming out as well, too. We do have a rough draft. I don't think we could show it right now, but maybe we could talk to Kyle about it, but probably shouldn't show it just yet. It's not finally done, but we have a new intro, new outro. So it should be good, guys. So you're going to see the old outro, but it will soon be replaced.
And let's go ahead and get into it then.
Let's go. Let's go.
Bolt
Bros.
I'm Dale Henley. You watching the Bolt Bros podcast? Let's do it!
You guys got to see that new one, Bo. I tell you what, it slaps. It slaps.
Dude, I had the song stuck in my head yesterday too. So I was like, think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. So
it's solid. It's a good song, guys. So Kyle did a really good job with it. It's a nice collab. We might have a couple different ones. We'll have a couple different ones we can play around with, but a lot of fun.
A lot of variations that we go with it. And actually, I was going to say one thing too. And I always kind of bring this up every time I watch that intro. I always think of Costa Mesa training camp and everything. And now that the Raiders being there, my flight back home from LA, two guys were in Raiders outfit or their gear and everything. And I was like, oh, did you guys go to training camp? And they're like, yeah. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to be at that training camp because they're season ticket holders and everything. Only 100 people, maybe at most being there. He's like got a bunch of autos and everything too. And then I just kind of read a little bit into the Raiders and, sounds like Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew ain't looking good. And
oh, really? Interesting.
So the defense was dominating them all around. So like I've been saying, Raiders will have a very good defense. It's just that offense is going to be not so good. Like that's where the whole rumors of Devontae Adams potentially getting traded because his frustration level is only going up from this point. And if he's not going to get his catches, if he's not going to win, he's going to want out. So, anyways,
good point.
I don't know why we talk about the Raiders, anyways, but who cares?
Good point. But it is a little interesting because they can't even have open, people there to check them out, right? Because of the situation being in so close proximity, So, but either way, we don't give a shit about the Ray turds. Let's move on. But
screw them. All right,
they suck. Nobody cares.
But here we go. Mary, by by the way, what's up?
Mary. Yeah, we got VIP tickets. Some of people that follow the podcast. What was it? Pappy, J-Rock.
J-Rock. We had oh my gosh, why isn't the names? Micah basically hooked it up for us too. And then we also had was it Pappy, one of our followers too. So shout out to you guys too. Awesome experience to be able to have VIP and everything too. Food, sodas, waters, all that stuff, connected with fans, connected with players. It was awesome, guys. Great experience. So
Micah, there we go.
Micah, yep.
There he is. Yeah, really cool dude. Man. We had a great time.
Great time all around, man. So it was all worth it, man. And that was awesome to be able to have VIP all around. And I also did want to give a shout out to a couple kids that were there too with VIP. They said, hey, give me a shout out on the pod. So I was like, all right. So it was Ruben and Moses, man. I just want to give you guys a shout out. Bolt up, guys, man. Get ready for the season.
They're cute kids. A lot of fun. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Kyle. That's awesome. You talking about me or James? Come on, man.
We all look
Come
a little
on,
wider.
man.
It's because we had all you can eat. And, we're eating some quiche, some, what do we had? Tostadas. We had tacos. We're killing it.
Salmon, dude. We had all kinds of
salmon.
stuff, dude. It was good stuff, man. I'll tell you what.
It was phenomenal. So really cool, man. Great experience all around, man. And once again, guys, you've got a couple weeks still with training camp. Get out there, man. And you could meet players like this. Like literally chatted with Hayden Hurst, chatted with Denzel Perryman, chatted with Cameron Dicker. We also got them to shout out the Bolt Bros too. So
Micah,
cool, man. And
Micah, what's up, man? How we doing?
Micah, dude, what's up, brother, man? Great seeing you. Thank you once again for the VIP tickets, dude. It was awesome, man. It was very, very awesome.
Very cool. Micah, you're on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. So most everybody's on YouTube. So just follow us on YouTube as well. Typically, the actual video quality is a lot better on YouTube also. So you might want to, switch over to the YouTube channel, Bolt Bros Podcast. So these guys all gave us a shout out. So we got videos of each one of them.
Love it, man. It was real cool. And they was sitting there, the tent next to us was the NFL Network interviewing some of these players and everything too. And obviously some of these players are just giving autographs. I chatted with Hayden Hurst after his NFL Network interview and, just asked them some questions, totally approachable guys. You could ask questions. You could ask what's going on, and I asked a little bit about his helmet. If you could kind of see there, he's got that padded thing on the top of the head, whatever it is. I don't know what you would call it, the cap of some sort, safety cap. And I was like, man, what do you think of that thing? He's like, I don't like it at all, dude. It's just really annoying.
It's called a Guardian. They call it a Guardian.
Yeah, the Guardian. Yeah. He's like, I don't like it at all, but I understand the idea behind it, but I still don't care. Like, I don't like it at all by any means. Yeah. And I also brought up that in that same day of practice, he had a touchdown with a mean stiff arm, dude. And I was like, it was getting a little chippy out there, right? And he's like, yeah, man, that's what happens when the pad gets on, starts popping, dude. And you know what? Hey, man, I got my touchdown. I don't care, dude. Let's go. I had to do what I had to do to get a touchdown. And that, man, like Hayden Hurst has the potential to have a very, very good year for the Chargers. And I'm really, really loving it so far. So it was just a great experience to chat with these guys, totally approachable guys, and just vibes are high. Vibes are lit, bro. What did I say?
Vibes are lit, baby.
I said vibes are live.
Yeah, and guys, so Kyle's actually driving to Utah right now. So he's obviously just going to be joining in, via his car. So we want to keep him safe. Probably not a good idea to have him drive and chat. But again, can't say enough about this. And guys, if you have an opportunity to go to the Bolt, go to the Bolt. Just go. It is so cool. Just being there, and the players are right there. We got so much footage. We had some really, really good conversation with the director. He's going to be sharing some footage that he has. We're going to be sharing the footage that we have. So you're going to see a lot of the footage kind of going back and forth. Anyways, yeah, the Guardian helmets, the Jimmy caps. Kyle driving this, I guess a blue bus. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool.
That looks like something from the Griswolds or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
the Griswolds.
That little emoji there.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this, guys. Just before we move on here, this guy right here. Here, hold on. Let me get the crayon out again. Come on now. Can't see what I'm. Oh God, everything's falling apart in front of me here. Sorry about that, guys.
Goodness gracious. Falling apart here.
Holy crap!
Screw the crayon, dude. Screw the crayon.
Well,
we don't need that.
I got my speaker, and it's right in the area where I get my crayon. You know what I'm saying? This guy right here, dude, Big Red, dude. He's gonna have a good season, dude. I'll tell you what, dude. This guy's gonna donkey punch the
here
league.
We go with the sunshine thing.
Here's the thing, though. What? Here, smiley face too. Sunshine smiley face. This guy,
dude.
And this guy right here didn't miss a damn field goal the entire time we were there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
bro, like I'm telling you, this guy was money. We thought, he'll miss one. Did not miss a single one that we saw. Not one.
His current stats are 20 for 20 on field goals in camp so far. I mean, this guy is nailing them. I mean, dude, it's like automatic for you. I mean, we legitimately with Cameron Dicker right now, he could be our best field goal kicker ever and the best in the NFL. Fantasy tip, just throwing it out there.
Tip, bro.
That's one to think about.
Gotta love it.
Dicker. It's great. Andrew loves that crayon, doesn't he, man? That's right, Miguel.
I mean, it's cool. It's cool. You don't like my stick drawings?
Nah, we good. We good. We good.
Man. Whatever.
But it was awesome to be able to engage those guys, chat with them and everything too. It was super fun. And this right here, we got a video coming out of this whole exercise here of and I think you've seen it probably from OTAs. I call it kind of the peekaboo route pretty much.
Yeah.
Because essentially right in the middle of that where Jim Harbaugh's at is the only little gap that you can see the receiver run the route. Now, eventually he kind of closes it up, so it makes it harder for the quarterback to see and time the routes correctly. Awesome to watch. Very, very awesome to watch. And there was a lot of variations that they did with it too, where they even had the players behind the panels and they kind of move out to just kind of have quick little curl routes on the outside. But he kind of didn't seem to know which guy's going to come out where and how to react fast. So it was really, really cool to be able to see this happen. And one thing I love about this, Jim Harbaugh is in the middle of it too.
Yep.
And he wants to see it. And this is such a hands-on head coach. Dude, we haven't had that forever. Like, I swear we have not had that forever. And it's great to see Jim Harbaugh out there, very hands-on, behind the quarterback, watching everybody, correcting everybody, and having cool little things like this to watch. I mean, amazing to see. So observations on this.
Yeah.
Andy.
Yep. Yeah, no. And I'll say this too. I think bottom line, he's got his eyes on everything. He's got his eyes on everything. And one other person I'll say on this too, you got Hayden Hurst and Will Dissly, dynamic tight end duo. Who was the other guy that was out there as well too?
Well,
our boy.
Smart. Oh,
well, yes.
Oh.
Yes. Well, who else?
Ends? I don't know.
Come on, James.
Parham?
Jordan McFadden.
Oh, well, I don't know if is he considered tight end, or is
he's going to be the tight end 3?
Is he going to be?
He will be a tight end 3. He'll be coming in and blocking scenarios. He was catching balls as well, so they were throwing to him quite a bit. Now, not in this scenario right here, but he will come in, help as an extra blocker, and he moves quick. He was in motion, running across the back of the. I mean, he was doing it all. Yeah. But think of it this way. I thought about this for a second. What about him running in motion and the running play goes to that left side? Handoff. He's a lead blocker. He decleats a corner or that edge rusher, just blows him up because he's got speed. The one thing I will say, last year, I was so annoyed watching, because when the person's in motion, they're not supposed to move forward at all. They're supposed to wait until the ball's hiked and then they move forward. People got away with that so much. But what if he's running, gets a full head of speed? Wow. I'm struggling today, guys. I need
you are definitely.
I need some Adderall or something. But decleats that corner, absolutely sets. I mean, you talk about setting the edge. Forget about it, dude.
Right. Yeah. Well, and the Niners do something very similar with Trent Williams. They put him a lot in motion to be kind of a lead blocker. And I mean, dude, come on. Relax. It's unreal to watch. And I will say about the Jordan McFadden thing too, Jim Harbaugh talked about it in an interview, and he was talking about how he initially was looking at him as like a center, good footwork, it was great for a center kind of thing. And, Joe Ortiz was like, dude, put him as a fullback. Put him a fullback. Put him out there. He's like, dude, genius. Like, all right, let's do that. So, and I did yell at Jordan McFadden too after practice. I say, hey, Jordan, how many touchdowns are you going to get?
Yeah,
he's like,
we did
100. And I was like, let's go. So he's excited.
Dude, that tight end room looks good though, dude. Another guy looks great. Stone Smart looks good. Parham looks good. He was working on something on the sideline. I think he's a little bit banged up. We'll talk more about an injury as well too here in a second. But Zach Hines looks incredible. Yep. He made some great catches with Stone Smart or not Easton Stick out there as well too. So, looked so good. So good. Definitely. That room's going to be stacked, folks. It's going to be stacked, which is super exciting to see. And I'll tell you, man, this guy's looking absolutely incredible. Oh, is it crayon? What are we thinking?
Oh,
crayon.
Here we go.
Okay, no crayon. I won't.
Leave this one be. Let this be, dude. Let this be. Let this be.
I can change the color too, though. Let's go. Let's go blue. Let's go blue.
Oh boy,
let's go blue.
There we go. But man, Lad McConkey, dude. I mean, there was some videos of routes that he's running against Derwin James. He's finding gaps to be able to get open, catching balls like all over the place. Guys, I think we have a very underrated wide receiver group, in my opinion. Like, yes, we don't have a lot of talent as in the sense of experience with our wide receiver group, but I think these guys are playing a lot better than you think. You know,
they look good.
McConkey's a rookie right now.
Really good.
Well, I mean, you got to say Justin Herbert was talking about like how, you know, Lad McConkey's running like a 4-year, 5-year vet out there. Like, you got to love to hear that from your quarterback, right? Like Lad McConkey getting that touchdown in the back end of the end zone with 3 people on him. Dude, one of the best catches I've seen in a long time.
Incredible.
I mean, it's really, really exciting to watch these wide receivers out there. And Lad, like I said, I predicted a lot of things. Like I think he could easily get over to 100-something touches, or at least not touchdowns, but catches this year. But
100 touches. Wow, he got 100 touches this year.
100 targets. I think for sure he might even get up to 100 catches this year. So
hey,
I'm excited to see where Lad could go.
My horrible speaking has rubbed off on you, I see, which is awesome.
Yeah, so, exactly.
You're welcome. So Jamari was not at camp today. And it looks like he is, he's apparently he wasn't even out there at all. But he was rolled up from behind. You guys saw the video, a little short I did. I recorded that, and it doesn't look good. Who knows? The one thing you'll hear about Harbaugh is not going to come out and say, "Oh, it's a news or it's a ACL or whatever." If he doesn't have to say it, he's not going to say anything. So, we're not going to hear a whole lot. Aether's in the house. What's up, Aether? How are we doing?
Well, and the thing too, like he even put that whole statement out there in his last press conference. Like, let me read you this. I'm not going to talk about this. Yeah, I'm not a doctor. Yeah, if it's in my health, I could talk with you about it, but I ain't going to say anything pretty much. So no, and I don't think he necessarily needs to at this point either. Too. So,
well, in HIPAA rules, there's things you should and should not say about people's health, right? There are some legal issues, and the Player Association, they could get a little interesting here as well too. And Junior Colson was also on the sidelines rehabbing with his appendicitis, so he's there.
He's activated essentially now, so he could kind of get involved. I mean, it's going to take a little time all around too. I was going to say something about Jamari Sawyer too. When the injury went down, the Brisket Broads, Heather, was like, "Hey, let's say a prayer real quick on him." Say a prayer real quick on him, and then we both look up. We all look up, and then all of a sudden we see Jamari walking away, and we're like, "Oh, it worked!" Hey, it was quick acting prayers. So, but he walked to the facility too. So, I mean, it was obviously a little gingerly, but my hopes is that he'll be fine and he'll be able to be back out there. Yeah,
and right now he's not slated to be a starter day one, right? But maybe a 6th offensive lineman, something like that, right there as well too. But And Aether, throw your questions out. Go for it.
Throw it out.
So again, that's the injury updates we saw. And Rashawn Slater was out there as well too. So he's fine. But again, Parham was working on something. Obviously Junior Colson was off to the side. He was kind of, just running a little bit out there, running sprints, but I can't say enough about Lad McConkey. This guy's looking absolutely incredible right now. So
just one quick little note too about the injury thing. Josh Palmer had an interview, and I want to say it was yesterday. Did he have an interview yesterday?
He did.
Basically what he was talking about, he said, "Hey, like one thing that's kind of great about the camp so far is that we really haven't had any injuries." So the one thing that he's saying that, and maybe he just doesn't know what's going on with Jamari or anything like that, but I'm hoping that's kind of a sign that, hey, he'll be fine. Maybe it's an ankle situation, or maybe it's something that's not a knee blown out or anything like that. So my hopes is that's what's basically going to be a good sign for the Chargers. So who knows? We'll see.
Agreed. Yeah. Thus far, nothing's been said. Again, we can speculate all we want, but it did not look good. He was on the ground for quite some time, but we shall see. And the Brisket Broads are awesome. And, they got their prayers may have been answered. We'll see what happens.
Love it.
But again, can't say enough about this guy. He's got golden hands, you know what I mean? And dude, he caught everything that was thrown at him. Everything.
Everything.
So the sky's the limit for this guy. In fact, I just posted something. I think I saw that a lot of people ranking him maybe a top 10 wide receiver, because if you look at who he has available to throw the ball to with Justin Herbert, you got Palmer, you got McConkey. You know, who knows, right? You know, McConkey might be the guy. He's dude, he burned Derwin James.
Yep.
He burned him, you know, on 101 drills, right? So, you know, I did a little video on that. We caught it, and he's got moves, man. You know, he's got those moves. So, you know, it's going to be pretty interesting to see.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And we got a lot of other wide receivers that we're going to chat about within the slides here too.
Yep, for sure.
That we basically want to kind of pin to. So yeah, in Bolts, I saw your question on this. So do you guys see the wide receiver room like the Packers last season? I think it's a great comparison in my opinion. They have a lot of youth within that room. Jordan Love obviously has had a pretty good, you know, second half of his season, got a fat contract for a good second half of the season, essentially. I think it's a good comparison. I think it's a great comparison of what our wide receiver group could be. And obviously we have other wide receivers we're going to chat about in the slides that could be, you know, those pieces similarly to the Packers, just a widespread kind of situation, not one or two guys that you're just going to pin on all the time. I think we have pretty much that created right now with the Chargers.
Here's a question for you, James, from Aether.
I want to make myself clear. Fans don't believe in this coach. No, they definitely do believe in this coach. We chatted with a lot of them out there. There's a lot of enthusiasm about this team. And the quarterback, because the Chiefs got them scared. Now, I don't think there's going to be as much scared this year as we think. Not me, my coach and my quarterback. I don't know what happened there. All right, do not care. They come, So, look, I mean, there's a lot of people, and I was chatting about it a lot at camp. I mean, look at the past few decades, four decades. Let's just look at that. We got an uncharted territory situation here. Obviously, you go back to the Air Coryell. We got kind of far. We got ASU championship game, didn't get to the Super Bowl, didn't win one. Then you go to Bobby Ross, got to a Super Bowl, didn't win it. Then you go to Marty Schottenheimer. Basically, we had dominant teams that should have found ways to win Super Bowls, didn't do it. We got to Norv Turner. He got us to an AFC championship game. Didn't win it. You know, we have a situation where you have a coach that knows what the heck he's doing. And this is an uncharted territory for this team. And it's an exciting time. And everybody at camp is very excited. Did you see, or have you seen the opposite here? I saw video footage and photos of the Cowboys camp and how it looks like there's like 70 people there. And the fans are not very enthusiastic about the Cowboys. So every day, Chargers training camp was packed. Everybody was very excited there.
Yeah, it was. So
this is a high level of excitement all around.
Yeah. One last thing I'll say about McConkey is he was also taking kickoffs from Dicker for special teams. So it was Darius Davis and McConkey out there. Now, the interesting thing about that, too, is Darius Davis is not actually listed as a wide receiver, which I thought was really, really interesting. So I'm very curious to see how he's potentially used. We'll see. I do think he'll be used as a wide receiver, but a lot of people have only 6 wide receivers making it, and he would just be considered a special teams player. So how that plays out, I have no idea. We're going to talk about QJ here in a little bit, guys. So there's a lot we can discuss with him. One guy also is Rice. Rice makes some good catches. He looks pretty good out there. The other guy looks pretty good too is Cornelius Johnson. I would almost argue he looks a little bit better than QJ, but they are trying to feed QJ. We'll talk more about QJ here in a second. But Rice looked pretty good, guys. He looked pretty freaking good. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and he does play with the 1s and 2s. So he is kind of rotating back and forth. And the thing is, his route running is pretty solid all around, guys.
It's crisp.
I think once again, we might have found a gem. And to be honest, it's crazy to think that he got all the way to the 7th. Like, if you look at some of the past USC wide receivers that have come out of there and found ways to make impacts in the NFL, I have no idea how this guy got to the 7th round. He played with Caleb Williams.
Crazy,
did
right?
well with him. Deep route guy, short intermediate routes. I remember watching footage of him and how his routes were a little bit too wide looking. He wasn't having enough sharpness to his routes, but I think his footwork is getting a lot better all around. So Brendan Rice has got a great chance to find his way on this roster, in my opinion. Like,
I agree.
I don't think they're going to let him walk, and I don't think Harbaugh's going to let him walk. And he's looking good for out routes, cut routes, curl routes, pretty simple, slants, everything, sideline catches, all around. I'm excited to see Brendan Rice keep growing within this team. So, yeah, keep an eye out for Brendan for sure.
Yeah, and I'll say this. He could be a special teams guy too. That might be another option. I do think that makes a lot of sense.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, Lad McCollum next Julian Edelman.
Egbert.
I'm stroking out today, guys.
Yeah,
I need to check my blood pressure. I don't know what's happening here right now. So, the Cowboy fans finally woke up. Look, Dak, isn't this a contract year for him as well?
No, he's got 2 years of contract still.
That's
so
right.
basically
He does.
$51 million cap hit this year, $55 million cap hit next year. He's asking for more money right now. And
that's what it is. He wants more money. Yes.
He wants more money, which is incredible for him to ask for that when he really has done nothing in the playoffs at all too. And then you got CeeDee Lamb asking for money. You got Micah Parsons you got to pay for. Somebody brought up, I was watching the Pat McAfee show as a country artist was bringing up things about like, the Saints, and he's like, well, what do you think about Derek Carr kind of thing? And he's like, well, we'll see kind of where it goes, but I'm kind of looking to see if Dak gets let go kind of thing. And Dak to go to the New Orleans Saints would be kind of a big addition too. And dude, it's good. The Cowboys, man. I mean, that's
yeah.
Look, we got a frustrating franchise that we follow here, but that is one of the most frustrating franchises where you have these phenomenal seasons, 12-5 seasons, and then you get in the playoffs and you just stink it up. And it's just, dude, it's so hard to watch for them. But
yeah.
Tough.
James, you think Cowboy fans finally woke up, understood they have that owner? Yeah, I don't think they're going to win. I just, they can't make it work when it's supposed to. And, again, Chargers aren't much better, but, again, we have Harbaugh now. That's going to keep things simple, right? I think that's the thing. A lot of people we chatted with, people kept asking, how do you think we're going to be? How do you think we're going to be? We even asked Matt Money Smith, what's the record prediction? He would not give me a record prediction, but he said, it's all going to boil down to saying a healthy. And I agree with that as well, too. I meant to say my baby, not Michigan. What do you? Not sure I understand your question.
Anyways,
Andrew, Michigan, baby. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the question
James,
is.
I got a question. He's asking. I got a question. How many sacks in week one by our edge rushers? Hey, I'll tell you. I mean, we'll talk about some of the edge rushers and
we'll talk more about that
on the scheme here shortly.
So we'll talk about QJ here in a second too, guys. QJ is. Oh, here we go. Well, he's next up on the slides. So QJ,
pay attention to the slides, dude. Keep it going. Keep it rolling, dude.
So the QJ. Here's the problem. QJ clearly cannot catch the ball over his shoulder.
Not at all.
I don't understand what's going on.
Yep.
Like he cannot track the ball. Now, I play softball. When I'm in the outfield, the ball comes at me this way, and I have to go across my body to catch the ball this way. Always much harder to make that happen. QJ catching it like this doesn't seem to work out. I don't know if like Simone Biles apparently got something called the twisties. You hear that?
Yeah.
he got the droppies. I don't know what to say. But if that ball's over his shoulder, he cannot catch it to save his life. So I don't know, man. My thought is you keep his routes real simple, curls, flats, shallow stuff. He's money on those. Yep. Keep it in front of him. He's fine. Yards after catch, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough situation because you got a first round pick. First round pick needs to be able to do everything, needs to be able to stretch the field. And at this point, what we're seeing is he can't. He's almost more of like a wide receiver 4, possibly even a wide receiver 5. I mean, he has got to figure things out with those over shoulder catches. Anything sideline, over shoulder kind of just seems like it's out of his range. And it's really, really frustrating to watch because, I mean, one of the videos and one of the catches that he should have made, Herbert threw a perfect ball right to his hand.
A dime.
Squared on his hands. Dude, catch it. Like, whatever it is, you got stone hands over the shoulder catches, and he cannot pull it in. And I think it's going back to his knock of when he was coming out of college. People kept, even to say us as Charger fans, he's doing a lot of body catches. He wants body catches more than hand catches. It's really frustrating to watch. It's really, really frustrating to watch. And you can't have a first round pick guy who cannot go and be that long ball type guy, home run hitter for us. I always keep thinking about that Packers game last year where he dropped that over the shoulder catch.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when I knew it was a problem. We put up a video of Sanjay Lau working with Quentin Johnston on just small little like runs, throw the ball over his shoulder and just keep kind of get him used to that. I don't know if he's got like a stiff neck or something. I don't know. He can't turn around to see the dang ball or something, or his hands are too like hard. I don't know. Wrong gloves. I don't know, dude. This guy has to get that figured out. And it is really, really frustrating to watch with other wide receivers being able to make these catches.
Yeah.
As we've seen with DJ Shark.
And have you ever touched those gloves that they wear?
They are sticky.
Yo, it is nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Like how you drop a ball when it hits those gloves is beyond me, dude. Like it really is.
Yeah.
Because it literally goes quick. I mean, it's like glue. So I don't know what he's doing, dude. Like what he's doing is he's catching and then trying to transition it in, and he's not bringing it in correctly. I don't know. There's something going on there.
It's wild to watch, and it's just like we all like see it and we all know it. Literally yesterday's practice, I was like, this guy, he's only good to be able to catch the ball in front of him. That's it.
Yep.
Period.
And the problem with that though is in the NFL, then corners will sit on those short routes.
100%.
And that's when you start getting picked off, and that's when Herbert starts to become, it's tough because if they don't think you're going to do a go route or do anything deep, they're going to be like, oh, well, they'll sit on the short routes. Yep. And you'll be susceptible to being picked off, right? So you got to be able to do everything in the NFL. You have to. So, okay, good question here from Grandizer. Andrew James, wide receiver, question mark for the Chargers. You see us making a trade. I think that only happens if we have injuries. Yeah. I think they're happy with what they have now. And I say this because I also think that they're happy with their tight end room. The tight end room is going to be deep. You are going to be throwing to the tight end a lot. Hayden Hurst, Disley, a lot of tight ends had the balls thrown to, a lot. So I don't think that we're going to go after anybody specifically. Especially, this whole conversation around IU. That guy wants so much damn money, dude. No way. So I don't know. That's kind of my take on it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, James?
Well, we have $20.6 million to be able to spend. If we want to go for somebody, we could get somebody. And I don't know who it's going to be. I think the way that the wide receiver room is kind of shoring up. I mean, one of the comments talked about it too. I think it's basically Shark, Rice, McConkey. I think Dietz 18 talked about that. That's going to be 1, 2, 3.
And Palmer too. And then
Palmer. Yeah. And then Palmer.
Don't forget Palmer, dude. Palmer, he is out there all the time. I think it was Palmer. No, it wasn't Palmer. Who was the guy catching the balls on the jugs machine at the very end? And it was over the shoulder. I don't think it was QJ.
Yeah, I don't remember who. I don't know if it was Shark because I don't think he had his jersey on. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, either which way, Shark, Rice, McConkey, Darius Davis, Palmer. I feel those guys are pretty much locks at this point. Do I think that we might trade a wide receiver, not trade for a wide receiver? There's a possibility there, guys. I look, new coach regime comes out. They want their guys. They want their guys to fit. Would this be so early that they would give up, say, on QJ? I don't know. I mean, that's the real question, in my opinion. What if we cannot get him to be what we want him to be? And some team wants to pick him up for a 4th round pick, 5th round pick, or whatever it is.
So here's his follow-up thought. LAC gives us a 7th round pick for a player instead of that player going to the waiver wire. Could be. I kind of doubt it, though. I think they're happy with what they have. Now, I will say this. If you watch the Joe Ortiz interview that he had with Rich Eisen, I think yesterday, he talked about how, we're starting to look at other teams now. They are going to be cutting people, and they are going to be trying to grab people from other people's teams. Because if they see somebody that they like on another team that's let go, you could go after that player. So I just think it could definitely happen.
Well, and it was an interesting thing too. Even other leagues had scouts there looking at players that potentially could get cut from the Chargers. We saw a coach from USFL, the Birmingham Stallions. They're walking around too, watching players. And so it's interesting. Even lower level leagues are still looking at players that are currently in on camps right now. So pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and good point. Yeah, Jalen Coker. I mean, look, anything can happen, right? You know, and again, I think there's going to be value picks. I don't suspect we go after some really big, splashy, expensive scoop ups. I just don't see that. And Cornelius has looked good. And guys, I like Cornelius. I think he actually could be a tight end. He's a very good blocker, but he could make the squad just as a special teams type guy, right? For kickoffs. So we could have 7 wide receivers on this team, which I know that sounds freaking crazy, but if you think about it, the special teams is going to be very different because it's going to be more focused on speed. And there's a lot of different ways of looking at it. You're going to have 2 people in the back and 9 people on the line, and you can knuckle the ball down right in the middle, or you can kick it to the corners. There's just a lot of ways they can handle it, and you want fast guys that can get down there quick and jam those lanes. So I don't know.
Totally possible.
The waiver wire is going to be interesting. I suspect Joe Ortiz is going to be working that wire hard, and I like it because Telesco did a little bit, but he only did it once somebody was hurt and we had to put him away. Okay, well, let's go get somebody. There's something to be said about that. So anyways, and let's see, right. And the 7th is nearly nothing, could be everything. A player can contribute, as we know. And again, you're right. So who knows? Maybe there's something they go after. We'll see. But again, talking about the wide receiver room, Shark looked amazing. Dude, he looked really good, guys. So I guess this is kind of my point. Whatever we feel good about QJ and everybody else, Rice, Cornelius, I think we have a lot of very good wide receivers. I don't think we have a standout wide receiver, right? Well, I would say if we do have a standout, it'd probably be Ladd McConkey, which is kind of scary because he's a rookie. But Shark looks good. Hayden Hurst is going to have a bounce-back season. Disley's going to have a bounce-back season. And I think the running back room is going to be stacked. Guys, I don't think there's any problems. I just think we're going to be fine. So, I don't know. A lot to discuss about the wide receiver room, but I'm very curious to see how that plays out.
I mean, this image right here needs to be what QJ needs to understand. Like, body position, watch how you're putting your hands out. I think he's just, once again, right now, there's a Kobayashi Maro right here. QJ deep in his head, he needs to read the inner game of tennis or change the scenery. And he needs to be able to start visualizing things a little bit more. And it's this catch right here by DJ Shark was phenomenal. It was a great catch. I mean, it was a deep ball, perfectly thrown. You got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. You can't blame Herbert on some of these throws. Like I said, he did a great job of getting the ball right to his hands, and he dropped the ball still. So I think that's one thing that, we do have DJ Shark. He's going to be a great wide receiver for us. I think he's a great speedy guy for us downfield. Shark's done well in camp. And so I think our wide receivers are very, very underrated in my opinion. So I think we're doing great.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I really do. I don't feel like I don't see us having a real problem. I just truly feel like the interesting thing about this team, it's not going to be one person that has to be on the field. Well, the one person that has to be on the field is Justin Herbert. By the way, we'll talk about him in a second. I don't want to, but we have a lot of very good players out there that are going to make plays, and the ball's going to be spread out and distributed. We'll talk more about the defense here in a second as well, too. But to answer your question about cuts, where was that? That
doesn't happen until after week 3 of or a third game of I think it's August third 27th. Game. Yeah, so they do 27th. All the cuts. They don't do like a 80-53 type thing. They just do it all at one time pretty much now.
Yeah, they changed it so they can. The reason being is they want as many of these players to have an opportunity to show out in preseason as possible so they can get scooped up on other teams. So, and by the way, the 2s and 3s, they were hitting to the ground. It was tackle.
It was full blown contact. It was crazy. It was awesome to watch. It was awesome.
So it was real football. It was live football, guys. So don't think that wasn't happening. they're out there hitting, and they got to go out and earn a spot on the roster, right? So
Yep.
it's pretty interesting to see. So
love to watch.
As they're talking about Belichick going to the Raiders by midseason, who knows?
I don't think they even have the money to do that. I mean,
yeah,
and
he's
reason
going to
being is that they already have 2 head coaches that are spending McDaniels and what's his name, Chucky, basically are still on the payroll essentially for their head coaching. I mean, I don't think they have the money to do it. That's why they had to go with Antonio Pierce too. So I don't think it's going to happen. I think he will go to the Cowboys next year if things go south, which it seems like pretty much they're setting him up to go really bad over there.
Oh, that's right. The Kobayashi Maru. Yeah, it's a spaceship. And that's right.
Oh
man, that's right. I kept thinking, I'm like, God, I know what that is, but yeah. Good job. Good job. Funny. Grand or notes. And thank you. I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you're right. Those are tough, man. Sea-Dog. And it's hard. I mean, the ball's over. When the ball's over your shoulder like that, you're looking up, you're still running, your head's moving around. It's really tough.
Somewhat running blind towards down the field too.
Yeah. And for me, I play the outfield. I hate tracking a ball in the air and okay, am I too far back? You always want to keep it in front of you, but it's really hard if you're running behind and you have to run with it. It's pretty tough.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's dating a 24-year-old Dietz, which is beyond me, dude. I mean, good God, his old wrinkly fingers all over a 24-year-old, kind of gross, but whatever, it is what it is. It's like,
let's talk about defense now. Let's talk about defense now. Let's get off that topic.
Yeah.
But this defense was awesome to watch, and it was a lot more aggressive. I mean, Monday and Tuesday practice were pads on.
They were good.
It was really fun to watch. It was fun to watch the D-line and how much stunts they do and kind of confusion that they do on the line. A lot more activity on the D-line, guys, all around. And there was probably about 3 to 4 times that I saw Mac and Thule get sacks. Pretty much, It was a dead play, but they still ran it out pretty much.
Yep.
This is going to be a fun defense, guys. And right now, in this picture, Thule and Bosa are going up against, it seems to be the 2s, I believe, in this picture.
Yep.
And they were kind of going back and forth. And actually on Monday, they were doing a lot of just defensive and offensive line drills, just kind of the old school drills of left tackle, right tackle going up against this D end and pretty much just going square up and just try to beat each other pretty much. So it was really, really cool to be able to watch this, guys. But this D line is going to be nasty. I mean, our strength is going to be our D ends. Thule, Mac, Bosa, Bud Dupree. I mean, it's and Bosa, obviously, it's going to be phenomenal to watch, guys.
Well, yeah, Bud Dupree looking great too.
Yep.
Funny. Did you watch Khalil Mack's interview? He talked quite a bit about that.
Yep.
He said, "Look, like we can't really talk about it, so we're not seeing what's really going to happen, guys. Just so you guys know, camp is always going to be there's going to be installs, right? But they're not going to show all the stunts they're going to run." There's going to be a lot of interesting formations you're going to see when the season starts, right? So, guys, if I'm just saying this, if we could stay healthy, I do not foresee this team having any problems, right? So it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge, man. I mean, and I think right now picking those players that can add depth, they're going to do a lot of rotation. And Bosa did talk about this quite a bit too. He's like, look, Mac and Bosa could sit, and you got Thule and Bud Dupree. Take a whole series, and then Mac and Bosa can sit for a little while, get ready for the fourth quarter. I can see a lot of really interesting rotations on the defensive line. So I don't worry about the defensive line. I think we're going to be fine. So anyways, it's exciting. It's really exciting to see.
I think it'll be totally fine for sure. But best D line in the NFL, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, but we'll definitely have a good stout. Biggest thing that we could have is hopefully we get the ability to stop the run for once. That's the one thing that I want to see. Stop the run, force them to pass, let our dogs on the outside go in and just create havoc pretty much. And Khalil Mack, man, like this guy's like an ageless wonder in my opinion.
Dude,
I love seeing this picture right here where he's going up against, I think it's Slater right there, right? Is it Slater? Is it 70? Yeah. Dude, iron sharpens iron, like they said.
Yep.
And I think it was Josh Palmer that talked about it. But at the same side, you put 2 dogs, all pro guys, up against each other, they're only going to get better at this point, guys. And It was really cool. I put a picture up on our YouTube about showing Khalil Mack walking with
cute.
his family, and his son was wearing his pads and his jersey, and he's a tiny little guy, so it just looks like this jersey and pads are just walking across the field. It was so cute to see, but
super cute.
But guys, we got a really good situation all around, guys, for our D edge, and on top of that, you got to think Morgan Fox is a part of this whole thing too, guys. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think Morgan Fox, dude, I think we're gonna be great. Yeah. So here we go. Andrew Farmer. Yeah, I didn't see him out there a whole lot.
Yeah, I didn't see too much from him.
He was in the second and thirds. So it'd be interesting to see if he makes a team. That guy's kind of a freak of nature, man. Like he just, man, that guy's got all the talent. Yep. But he's in a deep room. You got 4 starters in front of him, right? So that's a little hard. So we'll see.
Yep.
Oh, Pappy at camp. What's up?
VIP. And wait, did the same pass work this time too, dude?
That's right, dude. we should have kept him. We should have given him to the brisket broads, and then they could have taped it.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Should've.
Oh, hey, you should come say what's up to us. Yeah.
Always come by and say what up, man. Always come by and say what up.
Yeah. When you use, they're saying never pet a dog, a burning dog. Use that saying. It really gets people wondering. Don't pet a burning dog.
Pet a burning dog, man.
Herbert rushing teams over under 10 this year. I think under. Yeah.
Under.
Yeah, because I don't think he's going to be running a ton, right? He's not going to be Lamar Jackson. They don't want him to out there like that, you know. But Stick got the gold jersey. I think it's pretty sick. You know, I think to me that was a statement that he earned the number 2 spot.
Yep.
So pretty exciting.
And he looks good out there too. Like all around, not bad at all. I think he's doing well. And to be honest, the way that the season ended with him being the starting quarterback, I think he was fine. And I was seeing enough out of him that he could get us in positions to be able to at least score. Now, once again, the issue was getting touchdowns, not field goals. I mean, Cameron Dicker killed it on the field goals last year, the end of last year. I think he went 12 for 13 or 11 of 12 or something crazy like that. But Easton Stick had the ability to get the ball downfield, and that experience is only going to propel him. And I think he's a good complement for Justin Herbert to be able to be kind of a similar quarterback in some sense too. So,
well, the question is, does Dugan make it or that homie from Augustina?
Go to the next slide.
That guy looks pretty good. By the way, let me answer Hayden's question here. Yeah, that video is from yesterday, not from today. It was the one everyone was freaking out about. So again, that's when Sanjay was throwing the ball up to him in the air. But it's the ball was right in his breadbasket, guys. I mean, it was right there, and it's like, dude, you got to catch the ball, man.
Yep.
4 starters ahead of him. It's a little hard, Andrew.
Yeah. Everybody always points that out here, man.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Exactly. So Casey Bauman, man,
Bauman.
We were all sitting there chatting about him the whole time, and we're like, he's looking good, like really good. Like he could be a very good prospect for us. Now, I think he's a little bit more, and it's funny that he's wearing the Ryan Leaf 16 jersey there, but but he's a tall guy like Herbert. He's got a good arm. He looks like he's got a good velocity on his throws too. He was playing much better than Max Dugan, in my opinion. He's a guy that really could be a good addition to this team, especially practice squad. I mean, we're probably going to go with 2 quarterbacks, Easton Stick, Justin Herbert, obviously. The Max versus Max versus Casey is going to be a big situation here, guys. And that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. Camp battle going on there for the 3rd quarterback slot at this point. So I will say this. I like this guy over Dugan in a weird way, because I think Dugan looked interesting. I did notice that Bauman got more snaps than Dugan. Did you notice that? Yep.
I thought that was very interesting. I thought his throws were a little more crisp. They were more accurate. Last year, Dugan, I think, looked okay, but not great. Yep. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. But if you think about it, we need a game manager. You don't need a stud muffin with what we have going right now. So yeah, and currently right now he's the third guy on the roster. But again, Ballman, I think, might be the guy. I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens.
It's
Dugan or Dugan?
game time makes a difference. So
Yep.
if they're going to go out there and you give the same idea of Austin Eckler, when Austin Eckler made the squad, he made an impact on a fourth preseason game and found his way on a squad, and then history is from there. If he goes out there and stinks it up against fourth stringers and Casey looks terrible, well, that's not going to be good for him. But if Max goes against 3s and 2s and he looks better, well, obviously he's got the leg up at that point.
Yeah, so I think it's going to boil down to what happens during the preseason games, right? So who balls out more?
Exactly.
Who's the gamer? But again, we'll see what happens with Darius at wide receiver. I think he's going to be used a lot in sweeps. He was a guy in motion a lot,
Yep.
and there was a lot of motion, much like the Dolphins run, where you got a guy in motion and he runs up the sideline. Darius Davis was open one time. I mean, he was great. So,
yep, absolutely. And Darius doesn't look bad, dude. Running out routes there too. He seems to be doing pretty well all around what we observed at camp.
He's got speed, dude. He's got speed.
Yep.
So the 2s and 3s are going to be really interesting, and it's really going to be a battle these 3 preseason games. And I think these guys know that. The whole point of this camp now is to get them ready for those games. Once they're ready, once they're in, it's okay. Go out and ball out. Can you do it with the 2s and 3s and go from there?
And by the way, we got preseason football tomorrow, Hall of Fame game. That's crazy. Woo! Crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's nuts. I'm excited. We got to watch that one.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah, maybe we should go live for that, dude.
I got a tournament going on tomorrow.
Pick
a ball, baby. Pick a ball.
Pick a balls.
Pick a ball.
Kyle's at the AVN Wars. AVN Wars. Oh,
that's funny. That's funny. So I know we chatted already a little bit about Cameron Dicker. I mean, he's 20 for 20 right now in camp, killing it like no other. JK's doing his thing too out there, with punts and everything. It's interesting watching a little of the special teams type of, drills that they've been doing. It's kind of, they're almost sectioning off like 2 sides of the lines essentially, and kind of creating more blocks involved with the whole new kickoff rules. It's really interesting to watch. But one thing that we observed yesterday was Cameron Dicker kicking punts, and the way that he would punt would not be very out. It's more of like a low level kind of, almost, I call it almost a little bit of a UFO type kick. It's kind of weird.
Kind of like a knuckleball too. Yeah.
He kind of knuckleballed it to that landing zone, which is the 20 to the 0. And man, he was just knocking them around, and it was awesome to watch. Like, the kickoff rules are going to be very, very interesting this year. And I kind of don't like that they're doing it, because I think it could kind of shift the year a little bit in the wrong direction for some teams. But yes, I mean, Cameron looks great. I think he's going to do great for kickoffs. I was kind of anticipating to see if JK was going to go out there and do some of the kickoffs, but I didn't see that at all. But Cameron, we got a dog. We got a dog, man. We got a dog.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how this is. I mean, Stroud's kind of the hot guy right now, but Herbert's also in a team now that will do work around him. I think he was, and I said this to so many people that we talked to, he was he had to do everything. He had to be perfect for us to win. Grandizer, Andrew and James, I could use another month though. I want football to start, but more practice. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think these guys are ready to go. I think they're ready to play. Their bodies are ready. They know what to do. They understand the offense. They understand the defense. They know what to do in special teams. It's time.
Yeah.
I think no Caleb or Keenan tomorrow. I think rookies will be out there.
Nah. Yeah. I wonder if Caleb will probably get some snaps too, because obviously he's a rookie, but I don't think he'll get it tomorrow though. They're playing 4 preseason games. They're going back to old school ways.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the rumor is next year they're going to have 2 actual bye weeks. So we're going to get an extra game and 2 bye weeks. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out next year, which I think is really pretty fascinating. But the special teams rule will be very interesting, guys. I did a video on it. I'll probably post it tomorrow. Some of the shorts that you see me post, some of them were ones that we did. We're going to bleed them out a little bit. So since we got so much footage, and we connected with the director, he's going to send them some stuff as well too.
Yeah, Nick asked about shift how on kickoff, I think is what he was asking about too. And so, I mean, I think really what I was saying is that there's 2 different groups here, and then they kind of had more blocking kind of methods that they're trying to use. So I think they're kind of trying to separate them into 2 groups, because essentially it has to be 9 people on the line minimum. You could have 2 in the back, and they're just separating the groups to be able to kind of do blocks more, pushing people to the edges pretty much at that point.
Correct.
So it's kind of an interesting thing to observe and watch that all go down. But I think our special teams will be really good. I mean, we obviously got a good set, got the same coach from last year too, which is great.
Yeah. And I don't think the early bye that we have week 5 will help the rookies, because the rookies are going to be, I mean, because they've been out there a long time. They're already working. They're already out there, but again, they're not probably required to play as much as the veterans, but it would help. And I just think the 2 bye weeks next year will be good. And it's more money for the NFL guys. Remember, what is it? 45 million per team.
Yeah. That's crazy
for that number, for that lawsuit that each team lost for the NFL.
450 million.
Oh, 450 million.
Yeah, 450 million. And 45 is a drop in the bucket, dude. It's 450. So they're still going through a lot of those court cases right now and all that situation. So, and just to go back to your point with the 2 bye week situation. So I've been reading the book, First in a Billion, to Gene Klein's, who was the past owner for the Chargers before the Spanoses and sold it to the Spanoses. He was pushing for 18 games back then too. And so this has been something a long time coming, basically, at this point. And with that whole new court case and everything, with the whole Sunday ticket situation, it totally could be something that could happen. Now, the players are not happy about it at all. At all. They do not want to play 18 games. I mean, 17 games to me, I think, is a little bit much. But once again, I think there is a little bit of level of, hey, we need to make more money. It's a search for more money, like Spaceballs. That's always what it is. And so essentially that's what they're trying to do. And 2 bye weeks, I really hope that they do that. But it takes a lot on players' bodies to play 18 games, even alone 17 or even 16. So.
And they're really loud and vocal. The linebackers were very vocal when we were sitting right next to them. Yeah. The defense was very vocal. Colson is working off to the sideline. I think he's active, but I think they're probably not going to let him come. I think they're going to sit him out a little while longer. I mean, he knows the defense really well, so I wouldn't worry too much about him at this point. Leatherwood's been fine. I think he makes the squad. I don't think he'll not make the squad. Whether he gets a starting role probably won't happen, but he'll probably be a guy they'll bring in. But yeah.
Yep. It's interesting. Hayden's question there, talking about how Jerry Jones might be interfering the cap might go down, or inferring that the cap might go down. I was hearing the same thing too. And I was chatting with, I think it was NFL Mike, about that. And he's like, have you seen some of the stuff Jerry Jones has been saying? He's kind of losing it a little bit. So
he's nuts.
Who knows? I mean, what he's doing with the Cowboys, he's essentially torpedoing that team right now. So
yeah, it's crazy. I can't stand 18 games, injuries. Yeah. Well, and again, it's hard because it's a lot longer than that too, right? Then, if you get in the playoffs, you got more games, right? I mean,
exactly. just add more playoff games. Add more playoff games. Add another playoff. Add 8 teams to the playoffs. Let's just do that instead. Like, make it easier for some teams to get in. And we have that 7th game situation right now in the playoffs. Just add an 8th. That'll add more revenue for you. Add more teams to the playoffs. Let's just do that.
I'll say one thing about the offensive line in general, and we could probably wrap up here, is that they were moving everybody all over the place, right? So it was constantly just moving people everywhere. And Harbaugh talked about it. He's like, look, you're part of the offensive line. It doesn't matter. We want you to be able to play multiple positions, right? So when Rashawn was not there, you had Joe Alt on the left side. And then we had Pipkins on the right side. So they are rotating people all over the place.
Yep.
So don't feel, and again, the defensive backs were all playing different positions as well too. They're playing corner, they're playing slot, they're playing nickel, they're playing all these different positions. So it's going to be, you're going to see a lot of rotation of players. You want people to be cross-trained in different, situations. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm excited. I think it's a great move for the team.
Yeah.
And it adds depth. That's what we need. We need depth on this team, guys. That's 100% what we need.
And then Nick, yeah, that's true, man, about the whole get rid of preseason. I mean, I think you could probably scale it down to 2 games. in my opinion. Nobody really cares about a preseason game. I mean, I like to look at it just to see player development, but at the same side, I don't think it's necessary. I think most coaches, and I want to say it might have been Anthony Lynn that chatted about it. He said basically after game 2, you pretty much know who's going to make the squad at that point. Like you kind of
100%.
understand where you're going to go. So, yeah, I think that would be a better idea. Just get rid of freaking one more preseason game and go from there, or even just get rid of it completely. I mean, I want to see these guys still at least have a couple games under their belt as preseason.
Yeah, so we can maybe end there. I know we got so we're at an hour. Holy cow, dude, we just flap our gums.
Crazy. Kyle's in Vegas right now, and he's about to hit a quick spin with the NFL slots. That's the one.
Yeah.
I got to put that video up still, Kyle. I got to make that video, and we'll put it up on our YouTube of us playing the NFL slots. It was awesome. It was.
So I'll give you my thoughts. This team looks really physical already. They look hungry. They look ready to go. Interesting stat about Jim Harbaugh. I watched a ton of different videos today about Jim Harbaugh. A lot of people are predicting he has a very good season this year, no matter what, because he brings a lot of excitement. The players are definitely excited. I expect at least 10 wins. I think 10 or 11 wins is very doable, maybe even 12. Just because I think it's very simple, very easy, and Herbert's going to be rejuvenated. I think the defense is going to play great. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Jesse Minter moving forward. I hope he stays with us, but I think there's a good chance he could get picked up as a head coach somewhere else. I really hope that doesn't happen. Yeah. But to me, the good thing about it is this team is hungry. They're ready to go, and they're ready to play physical football. I think a lot of teams don't play that way, right? Again, when you look at Brandon Staley, he didn't make these teams ready to play. They just kind of were patty cake, playing it, nobody get hurt. It doesn't work that way. You want to get these guys ready, and they're playing physical out there. They were playing very physical, guys. They're ready. They're going to be ready, right? So I think week 1 versus the Raiders, I think we're going to be more ready than the Raiders are going to be. At least that's my take. Again, I'm not watching the Raiders footage or anything like that, of course, but it's my take. What are your thoughts, sir, James? And then we could wrap up.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I observed a lot too, is that I feel like this team is that glide that Jim Harbaugh was talking about. I literally feel like that's what we're doing. Once the pads came on, all of a sudden that glide got a little bit higher. Your elevation starts going up, start going up more feet. I mean, it was from Monday, first day pad practice to Tuesday. It was like a contrast. It was like they're hitting each other at this point. They're playing full-blown football. And just to Andrew's point, I don't feel like I ever really saw that with any other coaches. It just always felt like it was patty cake, and it was. Yeah. Don't touch anybody. Don't do anything too crazy. But it is awesome to be able to see Jim Harbaugh, what he talks about. I think it was actually Palmer talking about it. Be smart about your decisions. If the ball is basically going to be, up in the air, you got a cornerback and a wide receiver, let the wide receiver catch the ball. But just be in position where if you were playing real game, you're ready to go after that ball and bat it down or get a pick or whatnot. Yep. If it's, same thing, be smart about your decisions. And I think that's a great lesson that Jim Harbaugh is putting out there, because how many times have we made dumb decisions at the wrong time of the game? He's basically teaching these guys to be able to be smart football players on field. And there's so many lapses that we've had mentally with this team over the years. And Jim Harbaugh is basically a true leader and a leader of men. And it's pretty cool. I think there was a video that I think the Brisket Broads put up where Jim Harbaugh was out in the field warming up with the players too. Yep. It was like all the players are doing some kind of crawls, like bear crawls or something like that. And he was back there doing bear crawls with the players too. And he's truly a leader of men. And he's a guy that really is, an action type guy that will be very, very involved with every player on the team. So it's fun to see.
So this would be interesting too. Kobayashi, how many running backs they're going to keep? Your guess is as good as mine. I think maybe 4, depending on special teams. Yeah. But dude, they look good, guys. They look really good. I'm telling you, they look really good. And so I don't know. As far as wide receivers are concerned, somebody said, Timmy said Quentin dropped 2 passes today. So what they're saying is you could trade him away for a 7th round pick right now. But dude, who knows? Who knows if anybody would even give a 7th round pick at this point? Yeah. And if that happened again today, because I know it's season ticket holders at the training camp today,
which is started at 2:00. So if he had 2 more today, I mean, if they're probably over shoulder catches, I mean, it's becoming a common theme at this point, guys. And we got to find a way to basically get that situated, because once again, his point too, it'll hurt you at the wrong time if you're going to have a guy like that. So can't have that happen.
And in the NFL, you got to be able to do most or if not everything, right? You know, and if they know you're not going to go deep, you're going to stay short. It's a pickoff opportunity for most of these DBs. They can just sit those routes. So, and again, it is smash mouth football. Those Gus Edwards is a big freaking dude,
Massive.
Big freaking dude. And I mean, and so anyways, we can talk more about this forever. We're going to go live again. We're going to go live on Saturday for sure. Maybe we'll even do a live on Friday. I know Kyle's going to be doing his Madden thing as well. I'm not sure what day he'll do that. He's driving, so clearly he's going to have to focus on that. But guys, the Chargers looking good, dude. They're looking good. I'm very happy. Again, very similar to the Niners, Ravens offense. I'm very excited to see what we end up doing. It's going to be good. Very physical football.
One last little point too. Joe Ortiz went on Rich Eisen's show, and he was chatting about just this team. He's like, well, are you guys just basically going to run the Ravens offense and call it a day? He's like, look, we got Justin Herbert, a guy that could throw. So best believe we're going to be pretty balanced as a team, and we're going to throw the ball around quite a bit. So it's going to be fun to watch.
So by the way, a bet that makes sense, because right now I think the league is saying 21 touchdowns for Justin Herbert. If you are betting, man, that one alone is a very good bet right there. He's going to get more than 21 touchdowns, I think, this season for sure. So that's going to be good.
But we're not financial advisors. So if you do that, that's your own risk.
That's on you guys. That's on you. All right, guys. Well, we're the Boat Bros. We just want to throw this out there, give our final thoughts to these 3 days that we were out there. It's coming together. I think George Ortiz said, we're looking pretty good. So we'll see.
Yep. So I'm excited about it, guys. So football's here, guys, and it's exciting, and it's great to be back at camp, guys, and enjoy
100%.
Hanging out with the fans and feel the vibes once again for the new season. So a lot of excitement all around, guys. So we're ready for it. So do you want to do the Bolt Bros? Let's go. Do you want to try to sync it up, or do you want to not sync it up? Okay.
Let's just say let's go. All right, guys. Bolt Bros.
Let's go.